Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on my channel today. Match day preview ahead of tomorrow's huge relegation 6.0, which is built what is built up to be tomorrow. Away at Huddersfield on Monday Night Football. And for me, whoever loses this game tomorrow, quite simply, will probably go down. And it's quite a bold statement to be saying that in November, but I just don't see the loser of this game really standing a chance of staying up. I think it'd be such a psychological blow to come out of this game with a defeat, especially if you're a Huddersfield fan who've failed to win any games this season, haven't yet seen a home goal this season, and it's really probably the worst defence in the league against the worst attack. Obviously, we can't keep a clean sheet to save our lives, and Huddersfield can't score. They seem to don't really score many goals at all, do they? They seem quite toothless in attack, and a number of their strikers are on long goal droughts, and you know what's going to happen. It's bound to all come to an end for Huddersfield tomorrow night. They're bound to get their first home goal against us, and one of their strikers is probably bound to end their long-term goal drought against us as well. But looking at Huddersfield, I'm a huge fan of Huddersfield. As a neutral, looking at Huddersfield, I've got nothing but admiration for them. They're a wonderful club, and similar to what I was talking about Bournemouth, I think what David Wagner's done at that club has been nothing short of miraculous, and that's not a dig at the club at all whatsoever. I just think what he's done there has been terrific. Coming in, keeping them up in the Championship, and following in his first full season, going up via the playoffs, which is something not many pundits or anyone would have imagined Huddersfield going up. And then to stay up last season as well was nothing short of miraculous. And if they were to do that again this season, I think it'd be another miracle as well. And for me, I think David Wagner, he's working loads of miracles down there. They've got such a great fan base as well. They're a really good club, and I think even if they do go down, I think they've got to stick with David Wagner. He's a good manager. He knows the club inside and out. He knows what fans expect. He's got a good connection between manager and fan, as well. And for me, it's going to be a very hard game. We've had some absolute classics up there in the past couple of years. I remember going back to 14-15 when we had that absolute nutty game where they missed 2 penalties. We had the mistaken identity sent off, everything like that. And we come out 2-0 in that game. I don't know how we managed to win 2-0 on that occasion, but it was one of them crazy games where it was literally the term, the word shithouse. If you could define a game with that term, that game was definitely that. I mean, we rode our luck so much in that game, and to come away with 3 points then was quite comical. I've got to think it could be something very, very similar to tomorrow night. I think both sides are in a bit of, I wouldn't say dire straits. I just think it's going to be one of them games where it might lack a bit of attacking quality. I don't think Huddersfield have got the cutting edge in the final third to really mount a serious survival challenge for them. Being brutally honest, I think a number of their strikers, as I said, struggle to really cut it at this level in terms of getting prolific goals, which we all know when you're down the bottom, you need that 15 to 20 goal a season striker who's going to pop up at the most important times of games to get you the 3 points, to get you a point, or just to make sure you don't lose the game. And I think we do have that in Mitrovic, but in recent weeks, he's a player to me who relies a lot on the wingers playing well. He's a player who likes to get support into him. He's a player who likes to get ball into feet, likes crosses coming in from the box. He relies a lot on wingers. If you don't see a lot of the wingers, you don't see a lot of Mitrovic, in my opinion. Because of his size and his physique, he's not the most mobile of strikers in the world, and he can't really outpace many centre-halves in the league, can he? So he's heavily reliant on direct crosses into the box and lots of wide play from the wingers. And if they don't turn up, as I said, then he doesn't really play as well, does he? He becomes ineffective, gets isolated as well. But looking to me at our style of play, I think tomorrow night, obviously Huddersfield, they're a good team, like to get the ball on the ground as well. They're not a long ball team. They like to play good football through the thirds, high press, getting into the opposition early, really try and test them and see where they go from there. They're also a big fan of the long throw. Phil Billings got a good long throw on him, and it's something I've discussed a number of times now. I know we like to play good football, and I look at Bournemouth, who play similar style to us, but they also have that ability to change it up, maybe occasionally go with a long throw. If you watched the United game yesterday on TV, they went with that a lot in the first half. They tried long throws as well, to try and find a different way to try and break down an opposition. And I think we could do that maybe, like once every while, maybe try a long throw into the box, because we've got a striker who can happily get on the end of any good ball any good ball into the box. 9 times out of 10, he'll win the ball. And I think if we can maybe mix it up a bit, maybe try these different techniques. I'm not saying turn into a sudden dramatic long ball team, God no. But for me, I think if we're going to try and maybe mix it up, try and maybe put a long throw in, maybe test them in a different way that they're not going to expect against us. But I don't think that happened. Obviously, Slavisa's very tactically stubborn in his ways, and you can respect that in a way, because I think in our current predicament, a lot of managers might have looked to probably change the style of play. And I think all good managers stick by their system, and I think if you're going to start to change your style of play or change tactics, the way you're going to set up, and really start to play football, if you're going to try and go completely direct, which I don't want to happen, then I think players will start to question the ability of the manager. But I would like to see us maybe occasionally try a long throw, occasionally try something different from a set piece and stuff. Try these different little routines or techniques to try and help us give that little bit more of an edge against some of the little teams. Because as we know, set pieces and that are crucial in games nowadays. In the modern day football game, every team you play against tends to have a set piece technique or some sort of weapon in their arsenal to really try and get an extra edge over the opposition. And I think that would be huge for us if we could try and hopefully create something on the training ground and put it into use tomorrow night. I think looking at the way it's going to go, it's going to be a very nervous game. In a way, I'm happy we're playing away from home, really, because I look at the game last week and it wasn't the best of atmospheres, I don't think. It felt very flat, really, because the performance was flat. I think it matched, really, didn't it? The performance was quite flat. We didn't really seem to be at our best. We wasn't really didn't create much either, which was worrying because I think out of all the teams in and around us, I thought the team would probably be able to create the most chances and score the most goals to potentially move us out of the bottom three, but last week wasn't great. Obviously, the Carabao Cup defeat of Man City wasn't, 2-0's a decent result. Let's be honest. A slightly weakened Man City side. It wasn't dramatically weakened. It was a couple of fringe players came in. Obviously, Gabriel Jesus absolutely skinned Tim Ream, didn't he, in the second half of that game? But yeah. If we look at the selection from there, I'd like to keep that midfield three the same. I thought it was a very good selection from Slavisa, Kearney, Seri and Anguissa. I think that's a good midfield to use, and hopefully we see that on Monday night. I think if we're going to make two changes, I think maybe take out the two at the back in Odoi and Tim Ream maybe, and look to bring in Alfie Mawson and hopefully Max Le Marchand. I think he's been solid at centre-half this season. When you bring in Le Marchand, he also has that bit more stability at centre-half. And for me, it's questionable why Slavisa will not play Alfie Mawson. He's cost a fair bit of money, let's be honest. He wasn't a cheap signing. He's been a good centre-half for Swansea, one of their standout players, and probably a poor season last year for the Swans, obviously. And he doesn't seem to get much game time for us. And I know he's obviously just come back from a big injury, but he's one of our best defenders at the club by a mile. And for some reason, he isn't getting any game time. And I know, obviously, there's also that other side to the argument at Watford and performances like that where he came off at half-time, didn't look like he was entirely comfortable in the system. But I think if he can get a couple of consistent run in the team, like a majority of these players, these new signings need a run in the team. We can't keep chopping and changing, bringing in these players who got us up last season, because it isn't going to work. And I think if we want to see some solid results, we need to play these players who came in, cost a lot of money, because they've got a reputation and they need to start proving their worth. Because at the moment, in my opinion, a large number of these signings ain't shown their worth at the moment. They've only shown in glimpses what their worth, and they've got to be more consistent, stop playing for the badge on the front instead of the name on the back. Because for me, there's been a talk about the commitment of the side, and players don't really seem to be bothered. And there's a couple of players in particular, I'm not going to name names, who don't really seem to be at it and are not really putting in the maximum required effort, I don't think. And for me, it's disappointing to see, because if you're not going to do it for yourselves, if you're a player, then at least do it for the fans and do it for the club, because these our fans, we've been great this season, I think. We've sold out in every home game. Away from home, it's been good support as well. We're taking about, I think it's 500 up tomorrow night at Huddersfield, which isn't bad for us. Also sold out our location near enough for Anfield, just over 2,000, which is fantastic for a Sunday 12 o'clock kickoff, which is brilliant as well. So it'd be nice to see the players actually respond to that, because the fans have been loyal, and we've got a close-knit, loyal fan base. Okay, outside the bandwagon fans, there's a close-knit, loyal group of fans who come every game, no matter where we are. And it'd be great to see the players really give something for the fans to cheer about, because there's been nothing to cheer about in the past couple of weeks. It's been very negative. And try and get the mood in the camp a bit high. It'd be a fantastic way to get a result tomorrow. And I don't want to see Slavisa sacked. Obviously, like a number of us, we don't want to see him get sacked. We want to see him continue his good run that he built on last season and really fulfil his promise as potentially one of our best managers. He's done so much for this club, and it'd pay me to see us get beat tomorrow night and him get hounded out the way he has, because I know the results haven't been great, but he's been a fantastic servant to the club, and it'd be really good to see the players actually unite as one and put a good performance in, because I think if we don't get that result tomorrow, it's going to be going to be terrible, and I hate to see the reaction of that as well. It's going to be a very, very long season, I think, if we weren't to get the result. And I'd just love to see us get 3 points tomorrow. It'd be fantastic, just to give us a bit of confidence, give us something to be happy about, and it'd be fantastic just to push up the table, get out of that bottom three, kick on to Anfield next week, give that a go as well, and you never know what could happen. If you did enjoy this match preview, guys, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new as well, it'd be greatly appreciated. Only 10 off 1.3k, which is wonderful, as always. See you all for the next video. I'm not sure when it is, probably on Saturday, or no, probably going to do actually a match review tomorrow, on Tuesday, sorry, followed by the build up to our trip to Anfield, maybe Friday or Saturday. So take care, guys. See you soon.